What's going on, guys? So today is a bit of an interesting video because we're going to tackle a preventative maintenance task that I think a lot of folks probably opt against whenever they get their vehicle serviced at the dealership. It's usually an option they'll call you about after inspecting what's currently there, and then most of the time I just opt against it because I'll just do the work myself. And you know, this is one of those areas that a lot of people opt against it because of the price. In my case, I just feel it's easier to do myself. And what is that service? That is replacing the cabin filter inside of your vehicle. Now, when it comes to the engine filter, you know, that's kind of a hit or miss thing for me. Sometimes I'll have the dealership replace it when I get an oil change, but sometimes I'll just go pick up a couple of them and pop one in myself whenever I have an opportunity. But the cabin filter is typically one that I just tell them not to do. And you know, after a short while, you'll probably start getting almost like a vinegary smell inside of your vehicle, and that generally means your cabin filter is pretty clogged up and you need to get it replaced. It's generally some type of organic material that's built up and is starting to rot, and that's the smell you're getting from it. So we're going to replace the cabin filter in my truck today. It's not a terribly complex process, but it's probably one that's a bit more in-depth than most people would think. But again, this is going to be specifically for 2017 through probably 2022, I'm imagining. Super Duty, possibly even F-150, Expedition, pretty much anything that has the similar cabin filter in a similar location would probably be relatively similar to replace. Let's go ahead and tackle that. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Alright, so the cabin filter we'll be installing is the 6081C from Bosch. It is a HEPA filter, and you know, that's probably the same level of quality that you're going to get with Motorcraft or anything else that you throw in here. Anyways, the one that I specifically opted for was the Bosch because I could get it the quickest, and Bosch is a very reputable, well-known brand, and this is a premium cabin air filter. So a lot of folks don't know that whenever you have your vehicle air conditioning on or you're pulling air in, it's pushing it through a cabin filter. The cabin filter can filter air that's circulating inside of your vehicle or recirculating. It can also filter air that's being pulled into your vehicle. It all goes through a filter like this, and it's very simple, you know, kind of a pleated filter that uses kind of a fabric material, but it is a HEPA rated filter. It means it can catch 99.97% filter efficiency, so pretty good stuff. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and tear the other one out, put this one in. Again, it's not a terribly in-depth process to do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is drop the glove box a little lower. You'll see this arm right here. Now, there's other YouTube channels out there that will tell you what you need to do to pop this out, but the easiest way to see what you need to do is just simply look on the inside right here, and you can see that there is a groove that it needs to pop back into. So basically, you're going to close it a little bit, pop this back into the groove like that, and then it will just pop right out. So that's really all you need to do, and then you're going to push in from both sides and you'll be able to drop the glove box right here. You can see right here where it's behind there. I'm going to pull it against that, and now my glove box is out. Everything's going to fall out of it, but I'm okay with that. Then the next thing we do once we clear everything out of here is you're going to want to remove this trim piece right here, and the easiest way to do that is just to kind of grab it with both hands and pop it out. It actually pops out pretty easy. You can see the little grommets right here that slide in right here. And then these, I believe, are 7mm. So let me grab a 7mm nut driver. Go ahead and get those out. All right, so to remove this piece right here, which will all have to come out, some folks will say you kind of pull from the center, you just pull really hard. What I've found to be the easiest way to remove this is if you simply put a couple fingers under here, start from this side, you definitely have room, and you can feel kind of the back of this little pin switch right here, and then just start from one side and watch. And then pull it out like that, and then work your way over to the other side, and the whole thing should just pop right off. There you go. So now the whole thing is out right here. You can just leave these connected if you want. You can basically lift up on this like that, and then just set it back like that. Okay, so now that you kind of have this hanging out of the way, see that little honeycomb looking thing back here? That's actually your cabin filter door, and it pops open from the sides is where I usually start. Basically, you pull it out like this on each side. Once you get one side out, you can pretty much just swing the whole door off. And then your filter is right there. So let's go ahead and pop this filter out of here and take a look at it. So there is the dirty filter. You know, and it doesn't look too bad, to be honest, unless I guess you compare it side by side with the brand new one. But yeah, this is what's collecting basically all the nasty stuff before it gets into the vehicle. can see a bug in here. See a bunch of dirt built up into these pleats, so if you kind of separate it, you'll see what it's capturing. And then this is what we're going to replace it with. So yeah, it's again, it's pretty simple. You just do the reverse of what we did, slide this one back in, then you're kind of good to go from there. Okay, so we have the new one unpackaged, and if you look at this, you see how it's all solid lines, and this side has a divider right here. Same with the new one, solid on the back, divider right there. This little divider end faces up, so you're gonna slide it in like this. That's how you'll put it back in here. And what I usually like to do is kind of feel around in there just to make sure there's nothing that got caught in there or could be blocking it. All right, so we're gonna simply take our cabin filter like this. We're gonna slide it in long ways, like that. Okay, so we have the new filter in place. It's in as far as it's willing to go. We're gonna take our little honeycomb piece here again. We're simply gonna pop it in. We're gonna hook it from the bottom first, and then it should just snap in place. There we go. New filter is seated, and we're ready to kind of put everything back together. Again, very simple. It's simply the reverse of what we did. All we're gonna do is take this piece right here, get the bottom of it back in, slide it right here, and then snap it back into place. Okay, next we're gonna put our 7mm bolts back in place, or screws. Alright, then this little rubber liner. Okay, there we go. And the next thing we need to do is just simply put the glove box back in place. And that's pretty easy. We're just gonna lift it up right here, get this piece out and kind of out of the way. Lift this up so that catches. And we take this piece over here, do the same thing. Then this piece is going to slide back into the groove and snap back into place like that. And we're done. So everything is completely set back up. We're in good shape. Glove box works. Top works right here. And we have a new cabin filter in place. So all in all, total job, 15 minutes. Doesn't take long at all. I'll put a link to this in the video description if you guys want to use the same filter I got. They're relatively inexpensive. I bought 2 of them so I can throw one in my wife's expedition as well. But that's the process, and yeah, it saves you some money, saves you some time, and it's one of those little things that you can do yourself if, you know, again, you want to save some money and some time. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll be back to talk to you again real soon.